Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good morning, Shanmugh sir.
Good morning, sir.
కాలేజ్లో ఉన్నారు సార్?
కాలేజీలో ఉన్నాను సార్.
Good morning, sir.
గుడ్ మార్నింగ్.
Sir, are you speaking?
No. I'm just writing my.
Okay, sir. Okay, sir.
Okay. Good morning, all of you. I think people are celebrating the festival of Nagul Chowthi. I think very few people have attended today. That means 76. Earlier, it should be 90, right? So, fine, no problem. I even hurried up after going to the temple. I was coming in a very hurried way. So, I just came from the temple and I switched on my computer. Okay. So, today I want to just discuss with you about this Fibonacci in a tree mode. See, the problem here is yesterday we have been discussing with the other section. Around, I think, 27 people have attended in the evening, like at 6 o'clock something. So we have discussed about few doubts like clarifying regarding arrays, recursion, something. We had a very good discussion yesterday, and so in that they have been asking one thing like how the Fibonacci can be done in a tree mode. Okay, like how I have explained it earlier. Okay. So I even request other people from other sections also to come up with your doubts, and you can interrupt me in the class itself if you have a doubt, so that I can re-explain it. So if you keep your doubt like that, I always say doubt is like a poison. It's a very slow poison. So the doubt remains for this class, and in the next class, the next topic will not be understandable. Again, the doubt increases. So finally, at the end of the semester, the doubt will become a big question mark to you. What is this subject? So please clarify your doubts as early as possible, and be sure that you are working properly with some hard work. So today I will re-explain this Fibonacci. We have been doing this Fibonacci in very easy mode in the earlier time, and we have also, I think, discussed. I don't know whether I have discussed this tree type of solution for you, or in the next other session. I don't know, but I want to discuss it here itself. Now, for example, I have given something like in the main program. I have given. I have asked find out Fibonacci of 5, which is input, and give me the answer in the output. So I have written out. Now let us take it into consideration. Now it calls the function because we are calling here. We are using this symbol call. Somebody send a chat message. Can you explain array once again? How to call an array? Yeah. Shashank, you are not belonging to the other section which we have discussed yesterday. Okay, no problem. I will explain it again for today. Okay.
Sir, actually, I was not present that day.
Mm-hmm. Have you viewed the recording at least?
Sir, I have viewed that, but I didn't get it.
Okay, right. So yesterday some section has met with me in the evening. Are you not belonging to that section?
No, sir, no, sir.
Okay. Okay, I'll explain again. No problem. Right. So we are using this call function. So what happens is it will call this function. Okay. Now I will write this one. Fibonacci of 5 comma out. Right. So see my algorithm here. What is this algorithm? This is actually playing a very important role here. You can see what I have written there. It says that if n is 1 and n is 0, the out should be n. I already told you that what is out. So if you talk about out, there is no keyword called return keyword, right? So naturally what happens is whatever that is there in the output will be returned to the caller. Okay. For example, I will tell you there is a function called function 1. It has called function 2. So whatever that is there in the output out of the function 2 will be returned to the caller function 1. That's what happens. Okay. So whatever that is having in the out of Fibonacci will be returned to main finally after you get it. So I am saying that the out will be n if n is equal to 1 and 0. But our n is 5 actually. Okay. This is considered as n. So our n is 5. So if n is not 1 or 0, the else part is you will call it in 2 times. One is Fibonacci of n minus 1 comma out 1. Fibonacci of n minus 2 comma out 2. So when you call this function, whatever that comes to the out 1 will be recorded as the return value, and you are calling yourself with n minus 2 as a value and out 2. So whatever the return that comes to out 2 will be recorded as out 2 itself. The last thing that you get is out is equal to out 1 plus out 2. I think this out should be this out which returns back to main. Now I will explain you clearly how it will be done. Now based on our logic, now can you tell me when I call 5 comma out, I think n is greater than 1 and 0. So naturally what it will do is it will follow these statements, right? This is statement 1 and this is statement 2. So we go to statement 2, call these two things. Okay. So what I will do is I will call these two. It says that n minus 1 means it should be 4 comma out 1. So I will write out itself. So every time, even though you say out 1, naturally it will say it should be like out by default. Okay. That is only for our remembrance. I have given out 1 and out 2. And here it will call Fibonacci of 3 comma out. That's all. And the last thing that we do is out is equal to out 1 plus out 2. So instead of this, you can also write something like this in programming. You can say out is equal to Fibonacci of n minus 1 comma out 1 plus Fibonacci of n minus 2 comma out 2. This is also equal to this one. So what I do is I just write it for your understanding that I will do plus. So the addition of both the outputs that come will be given to this output. Okay. Now coming to this level, again you have something. The 4 should be considered. Now 4, again you go, it is greater than 1 and it is also greater than 0. So naturally it will also call the other one. Fib of n minus 1, that means 3 comma out, and fib of 2 comma out. Okay, and a plus will be done. Okay, I am adding them and returning them. See, if you slowly get familiar, don't think that you should be familiar at one night with the recursion. We will do a lot of programs in Python using recursion. So this is only for your introduction. I am giving it. So the next thing is, this one also we need to write. See, I'm telling you how actually the recursion is working. When n is greater than 1 and 0, it is calling itself 2 times at the same level. How it is calling the 2 times? One is n minus 1 and n minus 2, sending n minus 1 and n minus 2. And in this, again, each one is calling 2 times. Until n is equal to 1 or 0, it still calls on. See how it is calling. Again, here also, Fibonacci of 2 comma out, and here Fibonacci of 1 comma out. Yes. So I think here 1 is there is no call that will be going on. And in the next level, I think it is still possible because it is 3. So it should be Fibonacci of 2 comma out, and this is Fibonacci of 1 comma out. I think the end of this particular recursion, it will directly return what it means, like 1. The next one, it should also be done like this. So Fibonacci, it calls 2 things like Fibonacci of 1 comma out and Fibonacci of 0 comma out. Okay, so like this. And for this one also, Fibonacci of 1 comma out plus Fibonacci of 0 comma out. Right. I think there is no expansion that is needed here. Okay. And the last level I think we had this one. Remaining all are n is equal to 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, and 1. Here there are no expansions still. So again, if 2 is there, again it calls itself in 2 ways. Okay. So Fibonacci of 1 comma out plus Fibonacci of 0 comma out. Okay. So this is how it calls, and it ends here. So now the recursion starts returning the values. Because there is no further recursion, what will happen is it will replace with the values like this. So now can you tell me what is the value that will be replaced here? Based on your algorithm?
One, sir.
Yes, it will return 1 plus, what is this?
0.
Zero.
1 plus 0 will return to this out. Okay. So what is this out that we got?
1.
1. Okay. And here, what is this return value that you get in the output?
1, sir.
So you will get 1. So what is 1 plus 1 that you got here?
2.
2. Naturally, the return value will be 2. So this output will get 2. Okay, we'll leave until here and we will come here now. This output will be 1. This output will be 0. So 1 plus 0, it will return 1. So this output will be 1. So because this is calling these two, and these will get the return values, add them and return this to this out. The same thing here. 1,
1 plus
0,
0, sir.
0,
will
1.
give you
1,
1 plus 1, 2.
Also,
1,
okay. Now what out this will be replaced with?
3,
3, sir. 3.
Okay. Next, what out it will be replaced with?
2,
2.
Okay. So what is the output that
5,
5.
5.
and what is the main that this output will get? 5.
5,
The answer. That means it's the fifth term. If you calculate it like this, you see 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 2, 5. I think this is the fifth term that you got. Did you understand how you did it?
yes sir.
Yes, sir.
Sir.
So I think if you did not do the flowchart, you can try it now. So in the meanwhile, I will also explain. I will give you 5 to 10 minutes of time.
Sir,
Yeah, tell me.
how to command if and else function in the Raptor, sir?
What is the if and else in the Raptor? You know already what to do, right? So you said you have this symbol, right? You used to do something like this. N is equal
N
to 1
greater
or
than
n is equal to 0. This is
loop
no.
condition. Yes.
Loop condition.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. It's not loop condition. It should be said as condition, control statement. You said you will write it like this. Out is equal to n. Else you will do it like this. First call this one. Okay. This fib of n minus 1 comma out.
Okay, sir.
Yes. Next this one. Fib of n minus 1 comma out. Next out is equal to out plus out. Finally you end. This is
పాడేం పుల్ల పుల్ల డైరు బాగుంది రిలయన్సా
right. So I will give you 5 minutes of time. Just try out. We will also discuss the doubts for arrays. I think you might have understood why I have written out 1 and out 2. To just distinguish between n minus 1's return and n minus 2's return. If you write both out, we don't know which out that is. So we just return out 1 comma out 2. Okay. So that we will, whatever the return value will be placed in out 1 for n minus 1 and out 2 for n minus 2, that we will add it and give it to the out. So this out will be carried to whomever is calling this function.
Sir,
Yes, Srinidhi.
Sir, I'm getting that output variable is not found, sir.
You can share the screen.
Yes, sir. 1 minute.
Yeah.
Sir, it is saying that host disabled participant screen sharing.
I
Sir.
will. I will wait. I will give you wait.
Okay, sir.
Oh. Okay. Have a dog in your home or what?
No, sir, it's the outside dog. Street dog.
Okay.
Sir, can you see, sir?
Yeah, I can.
Sir, this is the.
Hmm. Why you have given loop there in the Fibonacci? Go to Fibonacci function.
Yes.
I said it should be it should be a condition, not a loop, right?
Okay, sir.
Hmm. Do not give loop. Give it as a condition. So it should be like
Section.
n is equal to 0 or n is equal to 1. You go to S.
Selection.
Out is
Yes.
equal to n. See, I have written on the board. You can see the screen share
Okay, sir.
done earlier.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah, you can stop sharing the screen. I will share it again.
Okay, sir.
See, I have clearly written how you can write the flowchart also.
Yes, sir.
Okay, shall I move on to the people who got the arrays as doubt? So if you can take the screenshot of this immediately and store it in your system. This will be very useful to you for workout on your papers. See how easy it is when you see the diagram. It will be very easy for you to code or write a flow chart.
Array flowchart, you said no, sir. That in order. I was able to do
What?
it.
Paul, are you speaking to me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah, tell me what you're saying.
That day you gave no, sir, that array. Keeping it in the ascending order, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in the order. I did it, sir.
Okay, good. We will anyway discuss because people are saying that Paul is an Einstein and we are not Einsteins.
Array no.
So you are fast and they are little bit slow it seems. So definitely we need to discuss everything and that's good, Paul. So I need to explain that one also.
No, I thought that array means you speak about that ascending order thing.
No, not that one. Not that one. Array itself.
Okay.
Okay, I need to explain array itself because on that day, I have explained like the memory and all everything, right? So I understand that very few people will understand that memory and all.
Address, yes.
Address index.
Address,
Yes, addresses and all. And that too, if you are really aiming for very great companies like product oriented companies, Microsoft or Facebook, that's all. You need to know what is in depth in memory action and everything. So that's why I have explained that. So for the people who are interested for that. So now I will explain for the people very easily what is an array so that they just want to understand what is an array. So maybe later on, if they find interest, they can again ask me to explain addresses. I will definitely do it. So most people have confused because I have given like address based explanation. So address based explanation needs a lot of concentration to understand what is what. And I understand that you just came to engineering and I need to explain in both the ways. So now today, yesterday I explained for some other section. I think I don't know what is that section, but we have met at in the evening time. We have explained that about arrays and all. Now I want to go for the explanation of arrays. So have you all done it? Like taking the screenshot. You can try it out later. We will also do it on Thursdays. I will ask some people to show what they have done in the flowchart, whether they are successful with this flowchart, which I have given as a hint. Okay. Okay, right. Who asked me this one? Like somebody said, I did not understand arrays even after seeing the record. Can you tell me your
Yes,
name?
sir. Yes, sir. I am Shashank.
Yeah, Shashank. Okay. Okay, Shashank. Let us take into consideration A is equal to 6, B is equal to 7. So I'm explaining to all the people who did not understand the array on that day, who felt it was very difficult. Actually, it was a very easy concept. Now I'm explaining, but I will use Shashank as a name because I want to mention it to somebody else. So you will take it personal, okay? So C is equal to 8. If this is the case, Shashank, what happens is that it is considered as a single memory. That means it only takes one value. And if you have B, it will only take one value. That means there is only one provision for one variable to store only one number. Either you store 1 lakh, either you store 1 crore, but it is still one number. Okay, it's not a series of numbers. Now, if I ask you how many variables are there, naturally you will say there are 3 variables. And in each variable, you have only one provision to store one number. For example, the array you take, if you take A as an array itself, there is a provision for array like this. If I say, okay, this A is not ordinary A to store one value, you can store 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 values. That means in a single variable, you can store 5 values at a time. See the difference between this A and this A. This A is a normal variable which can store only single value. This A is not a normal variable, but it is called an array variable because it can store an array of numbers or characters. What is this array? Array in the sense it is a contiguous memory allocation. Contiguous in the sense it's a continuous memory allocation. Why we want this particular one? The reason is, on that day I have even explained you the concept of library. For example, your friends, you're all going to library to bring around 3 Python books to the Geetham Central Library. You will go and you want 3 Python books. Imagine a Python book is situated at one row and another Python book is situated at another row and another Python book is situated at another row. what happens? You will get frustrated. If you find one Python book, to find another one, again you have to start searching where is that Python book, where is that Python book, because there is no order. But actually all the Python books are same category. That is why in library you see that they are all arranged in a sequence. Because it's very easy for you. If one can find where is Python book, all three can also find that, right? Immediately you take all three books which are sequentially arranged one by one. You drag them and you get a loan of that book and you go away from the library. If the books are arranged like this, you get frustrated and even you write a letter to the president directly. What is this worst arrangement, sir? Your library is not maintained correctly and you are taking a lot of fee from us. So for that, what the librarian should do, that's what the library courses will teach them, to arrange all the books of same category as sequence. That means a contiguous allocation. So all the three people will see, find one book happily and other books are also beside it. You take all of them and get the loan for it. Now coming to the example of our own software, let us take, we have something like B1 to B20 sections in your first year. Let us think that. And in each section you have 60 people. I want to store the names of each one based on their roll number. So if I can declare variables like this, B1 roll number 1, the name is Kranti. B1 roll number 2, the name is Kiran. B1 roll number 3, the name is Mandava. B1 roll number 4, the name is Karthik. How frustrating it is. How many variables you will declare now? One by one you have to declare, and you see if each section has 20 and there are around 20 sections. Sorry, each section has 60 people and there are 20 sections. That means you need to declare
1200.
1200. That means 1200 variables to be declared. Why do you need 1200 variables? And it is taking lot of effort for you to write each one and each variable. And that too, you are not sure that they are stored beside each other. It is not like a sequential storage. B1, B2, sorry, B1 roll number 2, next B1 roll number 3, B1 roll number 4. Itla store avutayani em ledu. It might be random storage because there is no compulsion that variables should be stored beside each other. And there is no compulsion that they should be stored sequentially. In our schools, we used to have assembly, right? If your school is having assembly, now the techno schools are even kept in the apartments. But earlier when we are studying, we used to have assembly. So we used to stand in a line. But if you stand in random way, that's not disciplined way, right? Why we stand in a line? Because it's a disciplined way. And having all these things and you are expecting to be in a sequence, the B2 will be allocated here. B1 roll number 2. Okay, B1 roll number 3. And this is B1 roll number 4. So how difficult for the computer to search for each memory which is randomly arranged. So I got some concept called arrays. So what I just do is I will declare only one array called B1 and I declare around 60 provisions. 1, 2 and up to 60. What I do is I will just put the names Kranti, Kiran, and the final name may be Karthik something. This is how I will store the values. And you should be understanding that these are sequentially arranged. That means I get all the names of a section at one place, like how your Python books are arranged sequentially. Now next I will declare another one, B2, the section B2. And here also I will declare, somebody switch off your mic, Ajit Kumar, please. You have sequential arrangement like this, roll number 1, 2 and up to 6. I don't know. Ajit Kumar is sleeping, I think. Right. So 60, and I arrange the names. Okay, we will take Ajit Kumar only. We will dedicate this example to Ajit because he disturbed me. Ajit, next Arun, and something like what we say. Okay, some name Kranti again. Okay, so this is how I store. Now, this is the advantage of arrays. You know what is the advantage of arrays? That means you are sequentially arranging it with only one variable. So for one variable, if you provide multiple values to be stored, then this is called array. But for one variable, you only provide one value to be stored. This is called a normal variable. And this one is called array. I hope you are understanding.
Sir, what is index, sir? Index.
That's what I'm coming. I'm coming back again. Now, coming to the same thing. Now, if we have these provisions, you are storing the values like this. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, like this you are storing. And how many values you can store? That's what I am saying. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 values. Now, I want to fetch a value. Which is the third value. So what I say simply,
A of 3.
this is A, which is a variable, and I want to get the value of the third position. So naturally, it will give you 8 because 8 is in the third position. If I want to fetch a value which is in the fifth position, I will give you fifth, A of 5, which will give me 10 as a value. So I can put directly in your flowchart, like put A of 3, it will show me 8. If I say put A of 5, it will show me 10. Why we call this as index? Because it is maintaining where the element is stored. So I said in A, you can store 5 values. Now I might ask you, what is the first value? Why we say index in our textbooks? The index clearly says which concept is in which chapter and in which page. So tracking. To track something that we want, we use something called indexing. The concept of index is nothing but tracking for something. So I might ask you, okay, Shashank, please find out the first value. Please give me the third value. These are nothing but indexes. So I will say simply for the first value A of 1, for the second value A of 2, for the third value A of 3, for the fourth value A of 4, for the fifth value A of 5. Now to write a flowchart for storing the values in an array, let us see how you can write it. So you will start. Next I will set I is equal to 1. Okay. The next thing I will do after I is equal to 1 is to loop it. Why I'm starting I is equal to 1? Because I found that my array index is starting with 1. So this index I will name it as I and the array variable as A. So this is variable, this is index. Variable, index. Variable, index. Okay.
Sir, I have a doubt. I have a doubt, sir.
1 minute, Harshvardhan. After finishing this, you can ask. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Now, after looping it, you will now find out the condition that you want 5 variables to be added. Sorry, 5 values to be added to array A. So you naturally give I greater than 5. If I is greater than 5, you say yes, and you end it. If it is not so, if I is 1 to 5, if it is in between 1 to 5, you will go inside and do something like you assign A of I is equal to I itself. Let us talk like that. A of I is equal to I. Next, you increment I. I is equal to I plus 1. So after that, it comes again to the loop and checks whether I is greater than 5 or not. Okay.
right? And it will go on repeating it by storing this value. Now what happens is, let us see. In the first iteration, that means the first time you enter the loop, let us write the values. I will be 1. Okay. So if you say a of I, it is nothing but equal to a of 1. Let us also write down the array for this. So we first of all, we are giving like the first value as a of I is equal to I. It is nothing but a of 1 is equal to 1, right? So 1 I will place here. And then I will increment I is equal to I plus 1. So what will be I? I is equal to 1 plus 1. So I will be equal to 2. So the loop repeats again. In the second iteration, the I value will be 2. And this time a of I is equal to I is nothing but a of 2 is equal to 2. So now I will give 2 here, right? So I am just keeping I for your case. You can also input the value. Instead of I, you can say, you can read 6, 7, 8, 9, and each value you can put it there. Next one is, after finishing this one, I will say I is equal to I plus 1. So you will say I is equal to 2 plus 1 because I's value is 2. So I is equal to 3. Coming to the third iteration, I will become 3. The same thing, a of 3 is equal to 3. And I'm saying I is equal to I plus 1. It's nothing but I is equal to 4. And it carries on like that. So it's not compulsory that you are writing every time a of I is equal to I. You can write something else. Maybe this time a of I is equal to 6. Maybe a of I is equal, a of 2 is equal to 7. A of 3 is equal to 8, like that. But taking these 6, 7, 8 values, maybe you are writing something like scan. Sorry, there is no scan here. What you do, input. So have you remembered that you are taking, sorry, not this symbol. You are taking this symbol, I think, right? For input.
Yes, sir.
So take some input, some n, something every time when you enter the loop here itself, somewhere here, you take n as input, and instead of I, you write n. So whatever number you want, every time the loop repeats, that n will be stored here. So instead of that, I'm just writing 1, 2, 3, 4, because I am giving a of I is equal to I. This is how you actually store the array. But if you want to read the array, instead of this symbol, you go for this symbol. And you put a of I. That's all.
Output.
Because now it will read what is a of 1, what is a of 2, what is a of 3, and it will put each value onto the output screen. This is the simple concept of array. So anyway, imagine that there is no fear for you. Every concept that I'm discussing here will be again discussed in Python with more examples. This is not the end of the concept. Why I'm telling array? Because array is actually a godfather for most of the other concepts that we learn in Python. There is no concept of array in Python actually, but there is a concept of list, sets, tuples, and dictionaries. These are very important in Python. Actually, Python was inspired by C. C only has one concept called arrays, but these arrays have been divided into these many things based on their usage. And the closest concept of Python that equals to array is list. So almost all we can say a list in Python is equal to an array in C. That's why I'm mentioning this one. So I hope, Shashank, have you understood? Along with you, I hope everybody has understood what is array in its simple terms.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
Harsha, now your doubt.
Yes, sir. My doubt is, sir, can you go to the previous slide once? In here, index number we have written a of 1 will give us the value 6, sir. What if we want to know 8 is in which index value, sir? How we can find that, sir?
Yeah, that also we can know. We can use, sorry, I am every time saying for loop. We can use a loop and you can go for each place to each place. Okay. You will start with I is equal to 1. You will find out a condition should be there. Okay. A condition will be there. You will say if A of I is equal to the value that you have given. So you are just writing the condition like this. If A of I is equal to n, then you say output the index of n is I. Did you understand? Harsha?
Yes, sir. I got it, sir. Index of n is equal.
Yes. So what you do is simply you check each value A of 1. The n value, if you give 8, you check if A of 1, I'm just writing as a pseudocode because these are the things that you use in Python. If A of 1 is equal to n, so whatever n value that is 8. If it is not equal to, you go to the else part. That's what you are writing in Raptor, right? In
Yes,
else
sir.
part, you do not do anything and you repeat the loop again. This time again you said I is equal to I plus 1. So I will be incremented. This time again you check if A of 2 is equal to n. No, this is
Yes.
also not. Next, if you again check A of 3 is equal to n, if it is okay, then you say put I value. So whatever I value here is 3. So 3 will be coming. So it says that, okay, 3 is the index for the number 8.
Yes, sir. I got understood, sir.
Yeah.
Sir,
Yes.
so the
Agar-
Fibonacci flowchart, I have tried it in Raptor, but I'm getting variable output not found, sir.
Can you share the screen?
Yes, sir.
Go to Pip.
Alert from your disk is almost full.
Okay, but what is the other
Yes.
written?
So that was by mistake, sir.
Okay, delete it then. Right click on it. Right click on it. That's why it is saying variable not found. And why
Sir, in yes also.
So there is no option to delete, sir.
that is the problem you are facing. Okay, you say rename subchart. I think you have created a subchart actually. Okay, rename subchart. And you say Feb1. Something. Okay, right. So there will be no problem for you and get back to Feb again. Yeah, Agarwal, here there is a mistake on your side. Like in the program, you said if it is S, what you are doing. I said clearly in that
Yes.
what
It
you are
should be out like 1 or
is equal to N.
0.
Assign it now.
Okay. So then the output must be equal to n.
Yes, out. Whatever you written, some out is equal to N. Yes. That's all. Now you can run it.
So it's again an error.
Mehak, delete that
Wait,
call
wait.
one.
Yeah, you said error. Double click on it. Double click on it. What it is saying? Yeah, edit. Edit. And now you write FIB of. Yeah, it has given the hint right. You see, and you can say N comma out or something. Okay, whatever you want. Now you run it.
Sir, it's again something.
Wait. Before you can execute this flowchart, you need to add code to the symbols with the red error message. Okay, you click OK. You click OK for this and try to save it again. Save it. Go to File, Save. Now execute it.
In FIB error is there.
Yes, sir. In
Once
FIB,
go to
she
fib one.
forgot to
Once,
write that.
yeah. Once go to fib and fib.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Here, yeah.
See, sir.
Again,
Call.
it went.
He forgot to call
Right,
it.
right. So until now, it is taking that FIB as the other FIB, the subchart actually. It is not taking it as a function. That's the problem. N minus 1. Okay. Now run it. Okay. So your output is 5.
Sir, here I am not able to get it, sir.
Yeah, because you didn't take that output
mask.
that time. You have to take output thing also, right?
Yeah, you put output there. After you give the output. You did not give
So
the
where, sir?
Output.
See, click on that output symbol. After
Here.
here you need to give, right?
Okay, sir.
Okay. Then Paul, I think you have finished that sorting. So in the next class we will discuss about that sorting also with everybody. And first I will give you a chance to explain your code, and then I will explain it clearly. Okay.
Sir, even I did that, but I did it at in taking selection, but to write for 5 numbers, 10 codes are required, sir. Like I'm doing it in a very typical way. Can you give
10
any?
o'clock.
Okay. On that day we will discuss when we meet.
Okay.
Okay. Now it's already 10.
Okay.
Right? Your
Yes.
next class will be up.
Yes.
Okay. Then bye bye everybody.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.